Okay, so today I wanna show you how to cheese the wormhole floors, the normal floors, not the bosses. I had a video showing how I did the last boss, although in theory you just heal up and kite the bosses and then you get whatever immunity it takes damage from. If it takes damage from frost, you get all the frost buffs from floor 1, right? So first what you're gonna need is you're gonna need your jetpack. And you're gonna need either Huma, Ruby, or Ini. These are the 3 weapons that are the best at pushing mobs off. There's some other ways as well, but they're not as good. I can't do the hardest one because I already cleared it. I'm 120 points. I was probably the first free to play to clear it. So I'll show you how to push the mobs off. Some mobs are easier than others. Like stone dogs and lizards are really easy because they kind of walk off themselves. But then you see this guy here. This guy can be really hard to push off. Especially if there's railings. Look, cause I can't really. This is why I use Ruby. But sometimes they bug like this and they don't actually die, which just happens. There's not much you can do if they bug out like that. The stone lizard, you can pretty much just walk out of the map and they will charge onto you. This guy doesn't want to aggro me. Okay, there goes one buff, and then you just pick them up with the jetpack, like that. It's pretty easy. Those mobs are the hardest if there's a railing. If there's a railing, they can be really hard to push off. Let me see. Here's a lizard, right? But here we have the problem of the railing. The best way to push them off when there's a railing is actually just using Ruby. And then try and walk them off. Look, there's one. Let me see if I can get back up. Oh, okay, I can't. So they're kind of hard to get on the railing if you don't have Ruby for some mobs. That guy will just charge off the railing. And then you can pick up the buff very easily. It's not very hard. You obviously want to scout the map to look for all the bosses to check which ones you want to push off first. There should be 6 mobs per floor and 2 floor buffs, so you want to do 3 mobs to get 75. And usually you're gonna have a place where there is either 2 or 3 mobs stacked, and you're gonna save those for last. So you can push them all off at the same time. This guy is bugged, it seems. He doesn't aggro onto me. The mobs bug a lot in Wormhole, I'm not sure why it happens. But like you can see, this guy doesn't aggro at all. Not sure why. Is he gonna reset? Yeah, he's resetting now. So this guy is just permanently bugged. In this case, you probably just leave the floor and reset it. Cause he's never gonna aggro you, he's just perma-bugged. Which happens, the mobs bug a lot. Sometimes they won't die to the floor, some speculate that you have to hit the mobs and do damage to them first. Which isn't true, because even when you do damage, they will sometimes bug, but it's safer to just do damage to them once. Like use by Lingbo, or if it's physical, use Ini if it's frost, use King or whatever weapon you have if it's fire to damage them, and then push them off, and you should be fine. But yeah, sometimes they won't take damage or won't aggro you. Other times they won't die when they fall down. And other times they'll despawn completely from the map when they fall off. In these cases, you just reload the map. There's nothing to do. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. These railings are what makes it the hardest, especially when you have mobs up here. If you have mobs in places where there's only railings. Like, let me get this guy over here, right? This guy, he's a ranged mob and there's railings everywhere, so it's pretty much almost impossible to push him off without Ruby. Unless you can make him somehow walk off the railing. I don't think you can though. Doesn't really want to get pushed by the Ruby one right now. I'm not sure why. Let me just get rid of these small monsters. Okay, let's see if we can drag him. He should be able to walk up on these. But they're really hard to get. Okay, I died. Anyway, these mobs you can't really push off without Ruby. You can maybe get him up on this bench here and then push him, get him to walk off the railing. But yeah, you need Ruby for those mobs. I'm just gonna reset this one because I'm not actually gonna do it anyway. That's pretty much everything. I can show you floor 1 why we use huma. Let me show you why we use huma or Ini here. I'm gonna have to do this wormhole today if I want the dust from endless. Since we can't do 75 endless. So this is why we want huma, right? You do dive attack, you do dodge, you do dive, and you do dodge. Now I can't push them because you have shield, right? But on the 75 difficulty, they won't get a shield. Because you're gonna use whatever element they're immune to. So if they're immune to fire, you will use fire. If they're not immune to fire, you will just get the frost one, Ini, instead to do this. Just gonna repeat this and then push him. You don't really need to do the dive if there's no railing. But if you want to get them over the railing, you have to do dive and then use the dodge attack. See if I can get his shield off here. So you do dive attack and then push. Sometimes it doesn't really work. There we go. Oh, he didn't fall off. There we go. That's why you use Huma, because she's the best one to push them off. And you can push them off even if there is a railing. Nice, easy buff here. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do all the other mobs. That's pretty much all the mobs you need. I can show these stone dogs. They're really easy as well though. Like you just aggro them. Well, you have to be careful of that attack. It hurts on the higher difficulty. You can make these walk off as well. And they just walk straight off if there's no railing. Very easy to push them off. And that's how you clear the higher difficulty. And then you just get all the buff you want. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps. Oh yeah, there's one more trick I want to show. If you get full energy with your healer weapon and you want to swap to another weapon so you can use the healing discharge, all you're gonna find is something to climb on. Notice when you climb up, down on the right side, the discharge goes gray. If you switch weapon while it's gray, it won't consume the discharge. And then you can use it on your healer weapon, like that. That's a little trick to always get your discharge for healing in these floors if you need it.